Hello everyone, Grim Fury here. And as you can tell by the title of this video, this is something completely different than I normally do. I was originally planning on doing a rant, but I changed my mind and decided on this video probably early this morning, late last night. To kind of, give you a little background on why I decided to do this. Around 10 days ago, a very dear friend of mine moved to another state. And I found out that she actually had been in a really bad relationship. I mean, not like seriously bad, but, bad enough. And, I felt bad, for her, obviously. But, I had commented to her that I wish that I would have known that, I would have done anything I could, to have tried to help, and she told me that she was just in a the relationship deteriorated and she felt stuck. Whether she felt that she couldn't talk to anybody or she did, or what that case was, I don't know. I mean, that part of her life is now over. So I really didn't want to start digging into it because there's no real point. And then I guess you could say yesterday afternoon, I managed to reconnect with a cosplayer that I've been following for quite a while, out of Australia. And her and I became friends, and she just kind of vanished around mid-December. I mean, no warning, no nothing. She was there. She had posted something about a con that she was going to or had been to. I don't exactly remember. And that was it. Nothing. And I was, I had tried a couple of times before making comments on one of her last posts on social media with no reply. And this time I tried again on two different social media networks, and I managed to get a hold of her. Surprisingly, she answered almost immediately from the second one. And she had said that she had been in a real rough patch. And one of the things she had mentioned is she was in a bad relationship. And I told her basically the same thing I told my other friend was, I told her, I said, I wish I would have known, I would have tried to help, at least, been there for her to talk to. And we chatted for a few minutes, and like I said, didn't get into the details because she's doing better, and I really didn't want to dig into it. I figured, it wasn't my place. If she wanted to tell me more, then she would have. And I mean, just because she's in in another country, doesn't mean that you can't be friends with someone like that. You can't end up caring about that person because, I'm proof that, that I can because of my, my girlfriend in England. And plus, happens with a lot of other people. But, that got me to thinking that, whether, like I said, whether they felt they couldn't talk to anybody or they were afraid to talk to someone, or they didn't want to be a burden or bother someone, I don't know, the reasons behind it, but it got me thinking that there are a lot of people out there that are holding stuff inside from any any number of problems. It could be bad relationships. It could be just a really bad day at work, or it could be family problems, or it could be something really simple and mundane that nobody would really think that would be a problem. And a lot of what these people would just need is just someone to talk to, or they're but they're afraid to, or they don't have anybody to talk to, or they're afraid that nobody cares, and they feel alone or isolated. And it just that thought just really started bothering me, because I've had it before where I was really depressed for one reason or another, and I didn't talk to anybody at first, mostly because I'm a guy. I'm not supposed to tip the way it is. Guys aren't supposed to be emotional. Guys aren't supposed to be depressed, that kind of thing. So it made me not want to try to reach out to any of my friends, just to talk, which is what I really needed. Eventually, I've talked about a couple of things to some of my closer friends, and that's what made me think of doing this video. I really didn't plan out anything that I'm going to say, so this is just going to pretty much be from my mind and from the heart. So, but this is directed to any of you out there, friends, family, strangers, whatever. If you're going through something, and you're holding it inside, for one thing, that's not healthy. Believe me, the you hold the stress in, and it's going to hurt you, emotionally and physically. Your body's not meant to hold stress in, and it's always better to let it out. And I want to say, for the most part, it's usually really hard to talk to people when you have a problem. I'm not going to say all the time, because, obviously that's not the case. But for some people, or for some circumstances, you either don't want to, or you're afraid, or, ashamed, or whatever, afraid of being judged or mocked or whatever, so you don't talk to, close friends or family. And, obviously you figure you don't want to bother strangers because they're not going to care. Well, I'm going to tell you that's not true. If you've got stuff bothering you, whether it's something really major or just something really minor, don't let it tear you down. Don't let it, break you. Don't let it, make you isolate yourself. Or, to the point where you're wearing a mask, and you're wearing one face, in public, in front of your friends or at work and stuff, and at home, you're just, depressed or shambles or whatever. Especially if you're on social media, if you need someone to talk to and you really don't want to, or can't, talk to friends and family, I can tell you some of the best places that, I've seen that you can talk to. Go to social media, and believe it or not, the geek and nerd community, whatever you want to call us, because I fit in those categories. The fandom pages, for the most part, those people are some of the most caring people you're going to want to ever run across. So, I mean, like, for example, on Facebook, I've come across and I belong to, like, some Harry Potter pages, Hufflepuff pages, Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, all different, cosplay pages. And those people, there are so many of them out there that if you just hopped on there and just, dropped a message in there saying that, you really need someone to talk to, because you're going through some stuff, I guarantee you're going to get a lot of hits. There are going to be lots of people out there that want to help. And lots of times talking to a perfect stranger is easier. And especially if you're just doing it in text, that way, you feel somewhat protected. So, at the very least, reach out to some of these pages, so that way, at the very least, if you know that you don't have, anyone that on these pages, then you could be basically, anonymous, so to speak. Reach out to them, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of them out that at the very least, is going to be willing to listen, to your problem, and try to give you some advice if they can. And, for all of you out there that are watching this, if you need someone to talk to, unload, your thoughts and feelings, worries, I'm here too. Whether you're a longtime friend, a new friend, or a complete stranger, if you need someone, I'll do my best to be here. I just want you to know that, you're not alone. That there are people out there that would be willing to, at the very least, listen. Because sometimes that's all you need, is just someone to talk to, someone to, just basically unburden yourself to. Lots of times that's, that helps, if not, alleviates the problem. Because, I've had it before where I've had stuff that was really bothering me, and it wasn't until I talked to somebody that, I started feeling better. Lots of times it was just in text. So, for, all of you that are my friends, in social media, if anything's ever bothering you, hit me up on Messenger. That's going to be the quickest way, because, I'll get a little messenger head pop up, on my phone, and, I may not be able to get to you right away. I may be at work, I may be asleep, but, I'll get to you as quickly as humanly possible. If you're someone that I'm not a friend with on social media, comment down below. I check, for messages and notifications for YouTube, daily. And, I'll get back in touch with you. We'll figure out a way where we can, chat, even if it's just text. I have Discord, on my computer. I have my own, server that I have. We could go there, or, we'll figure something out. I know probably some of you are thinking, wow, you've really kind of went weird on us, but no, it's not that. I've seen several, of my friends go through stuff, and I just wished I could have helped, because seeing people that you love, just hurting sucks. I mean, because you feel helpless. You want to be able to be there for them. You want to be able to help them, and sometimes you can't, but sometimes you can. That's the important thing, is sometimes you can help. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I had two friends that I care very much about. Went through a lot. Whether they were getting help or advice and talking to someone during, these problems, I don't know. But I felt, I felt bad because I couldn't be there. Granted, I didn't know about it, but it's one of those things where you couldn't have helped because you didn't know about it, but that still doesn't make you feel completely better, because you're still thinking somebody I cared about was hurting. If I would have only known, maybe I could have done something. Offered some advice, been a hearing ear, given them a hug if it was, someone that I personally knew and personally saw. And so that's the purpose of this video, is, just to say to, all of you out there that, if you're going through some stuff, just know that you're not alone. That, there are people out there that, want to be there for you. I want to be there for you. It doesn't matter if we're friends or not. I mean, because like I said, sometimes just, you can't talk to somebody Sometimes it has to be a stranger because you don't feel that, I don't know, it doesn't seem as personal or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but, you know what I'm talking about. But, don't just bottle yourself up and, and suffer. Talk to someone. Like I said, go to, some of these fandom pages, like on Facebook. There are people, you'd be surprised how many people are more than willing to give, helpful or just happy and loving comments to someone that just asks for it. I mean, I've seen on Harry Potter and Doctor Who pages, someone posts something simple like, going through, a hard time right now, don't want to talk about it, but could use some love. And it's flooded with comments and pictures, just people, giving their love and support to that person. So you don't have to, go through this by yourself, because you're not alone. There are people that, want to be there. And like I said, I want to be there. And I say, I'm here. If you need someone, like I said, if we're not on social media together, comment down below. I'll get in touch with you. We'll find some way where we can, get some time together, and we'll chat, or you'll talk, I'll listen, whatever's needed. If you're one of my friends, like on Facebook, just hit me up in Messenger. Let me know what's going on. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything major. I mean, it could be just, something, super, super minor that makes any sense. I mean, you could, spilled your can of Coke on the carpet and stained it, and it's got you really frustrated or upset. If that's what it is and you need to talk to someone about it, hit me up in Messenger. Because like I said, there's been times where I didn't talk to someone, and it just, sometimes it can get worse. You get more and more sad, upset, more lonely, and I've seen enough of that. And granted, I'm no psychologist, no psychiatrist, or anything like that. But I'm a friend to those that that want it or need it, even if it's just for just a moment, just to help you get through something, and then I never hear from you again. That's that's enough. So and when I say I'm talking to all of you out there, I'm not generalizing. Like some people say, I love all of you, and it's, really generalized. If you're, watching this video, you're listening to me, I'm talking to you. You could be sitting next to someone and you tell them, he's talking to me, and they say, no, he's not. Yes, I am. I want to make this as personal as possible. I'm talking to each and every one of you that's watching this video. If anything's bothering you, if it's troubling you, stressing you out, just, keeping you from enjoying your day, from enjoying, everyday things, your job or whatever. If you need someone to talk to, if you need a friend, get a hold of me. Like I said, hit me up in Messenger, or if we're not friends on, like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, comment down below, and I'll get in touch with you as quickly as possible, and, we'll chat one way or the other. We'll go somewhere, like in Discord or whatever, and we can talk on there, or we can just, type back and forth, whatever's needed. And I know that, like I said, I know this video is completely different from anything I've ever done, but it's just something that, like I said, was troubling me, because I had, like I said, I had two friends that I care very deeply for that went through some hard times, and I really wish I could have been there. And it's just something that, I don't know. It's just something that kind of struck a chord with me. I always try to be there for my friends when they need someone. I tell them, hey, if you need someone to talk to, message me, text me. If you see me in person and, there's the opportunity, say something to me. And, for those of you that that I work with or live nearby, if you need to, you can even come over for a while, and we can sit and talk in person. All you gotta do is just, let me know, and we'll go from there. But, just because, we don't know each other, because you're, basically a complete stranger, a fan that I've never heard from or seen, doesn't mean that I don't care. Doesn't mean that I don't want to be your friend. Doesn't mean that I'm not willing to listen. Because I am. There's way too much hatred and, indifference in this world, and it's just getting worse. It's not getting better. And there are so many people out there that are, suffering and dealing with all kinds of, bad situations, big and small, by themselves, because they don't have anybody to talk to, or don't think that they have anybody to talk to. Well, those are the people that I'm talking to right now. That you do have somebody, whether it's me or somebody out there on social media. Because, like I said, those people, they're more than willing to listen. And, I mean, if you think I'm, crazy or dumb for making this video, that's your opinion. And you have the right to think that. But I'm sure that there's going to be someone that's going to watch this video, whether it's right away or days or weeks or even months or years down the line, that's going to see this, and it's going to be something that they needed, to hear. And as long as it helps one person, then it's worth it. So, like I said, you're not alone. Don't let yourself, deal with problems by yourself. There are people that you can talk to, whether it's, friends, family, loved ones, or complete strangers. Think about all those, TV shows and movies where you see, it's typically like, a guy's had a rough day at the office, or he's having marriage problems, and he's at the bar and he's unloading to his bartender. Sometimes they're a regular at that bar, sometimes it's the first time that they're in there. But they, tell their problems to the bartender. And, it's the same thing here. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it tear you down. Because, you're not alone. You are important. You are special. You are good enough. And you are cared for. You are loved. And like I said, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Don't be afraid to reach out to me if you need to. So, I'm going to let that be this video. Granted, it was, like I said, it's not lighthearted or, fun like all my others. But this was something that's been kind of really sitting on my mind and sitting on my heart for several hours. So it's something that I need to do, something that I need to say, and I know that there's someone out there that will need to hear it. So, for those of you that are still with me and didn't get bored, thank you for being here. Thank you for, watching my videos, this one included. Thank you for your love and support, and I hope you'll join me next week for a new video. It's probably going to be an unboxing. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it's probably going to be. So, with that, I love you guys, all of you out there, all of my fans, even first-time viewers. I love you guys. You're watching. That's what counts. And I'm here for all of you, no matter what. Like I said, if you know me and you need me, message me. Otherwise, leave a comment down below, and I'll be here for you. I'll do the best I can. Like I said, there'll be times when I'm asleep or times when I'm at work, but I will do my best to help in any way that I can, even if it's just listening to you rant and rave. You just need a shoulder to cry on. That's what I'm here for. So, I love you guys very much. please take care of yourself. And like I said, remember, you are good enough. You are not alone, and you are loved. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all next week. Love you guys.